Hi, this is Gary Goodwin, founder of The Stuck Creative, and welcome. Today we look at a very serious block that comes up as we're thinking about starting a creative life or a project. There is a question that we ask ourselves, and it is a poorly constructed question. I hear it from all sorts of people. Some people who have advanced degrees, some that have, MFAs, some that have good experiences, skills, some who are just starting out, or some people who've already done a fair amount of work. This question comes up. In the beginning, when we're trying to decide if we want to pursue a project or a career or life filled with our own hard work, we go inside and look for some answer, which is natural, which is normal, if we should or can move forward. Some of these questions are pretty well thought out, and some are murky, sort of in the middle, and some are just very, very poor. Poor in their construction, poor in their fit to reality. Now, we start off asking this basic question, and it makes sense, but then we morph it. The basic question is, can I do what I hope to do? Can I possibly pull it off? It makes sense, although if we ask it too soon in the process, we have no idea whether we can do it or not. And if we get an answer to that question, it's coming from someplace else than a fact-based, experienced, trained brain. It's coming from probably the inner critic who's going to tell us, no, you can't do it. But it is a reasonable question. For many of us, this reasonable question morphs into, and if we're honest, into a ridiculous question. I hate to put it so harshly. I think once we step back and look at our own thinking, we will agree that the following question is ill-conceived, to put it nicely. And the question's this. Here's the question. Can I be as great as the most famous and most accomplished masters in history? Be honest. You probably ask this question of yourself, or you know others. It's a common question, and most people ask it at one point or another. From this question, what sort of answer do you expect to get? One that says, yes, you'll be successful, or one that says, give up before you even begin? Of those two directions, which one do you think you're going to get when you ask yourself this question? Let's see what your brain has to do to come up with an answer. Step one is our brain is going to go inside and say, well, gee, what do I know about the masters? What do I know about their work? What opinions have I picked up? What facts have I picked up? What feelings have I picked up about the masters? So here it is. We're going to start our inner computer working away here. So we got the stuff about the masters loaded up, but now we have to make a comparison because this is a question of comparison. So now we need to start pulling up, what does it know about us? It's going to go inside. What assumptions, what opinions, what facts, what experiences, what memories, and who knows what else, criticisms are there about us and our work. So we'll let our computer return to its work and pull up that information. So here's what came up about us. A lot of negative self-talk and awareness that we haven't always lived up to our obligations, that we have all frequently, not always, but frequently fallen short of our expectations and expectations of others. Sorry, kid, give it up. You'll never make it. Put away your paints, pencils, musical instruments, or whatever else you got. Anything that means creativity. Game over. Don't even start. let's step back and not so much ask about how the question is going to be answered by our brains, but step back and sort of see what is the form of the question, or where does that question come from? And I suggest this is a pretty darn arrogant question. It starts off from a place of arrogance. We sort of start with ourselves high up. We see ourselves hanging around with the greats, just the greats. Because we want to know, are we going to make it? Are we going to be one of those people? Nobody else at any other level. It has to be a great. So it's not the person across the town we're competing with, or down the street, or has been in our lives in some way, maybe fellow students or teachers. We don't ask about them if we're going to be equal to them. We ask, are we going to be equal to the greats? So we end up not asking about anybody that's close by, either in time or in space, but we look up to Mount Olympus. That's where our real interest are the residents of Mount Olympus. We only deserve the highest and the greatest. To me, that's arrogant. So it's time to come down from Mount Olympus and get with it here on Earth. Here we get to learn at a human speed, achieve at a human speed, make mistakes like humans, have some victories, but above all, we're on and in for a very long journey. And it'd be great to skip all of that, skip everything about the journey and just get to the end point. But forget it, it's just not going to happen. Absolutely embrace being a beginner and go with the flexibility and openness that comes with it. You get to learn new things, start anew, be curious, gather skills, resources, bring people around you on this journey of a lifetime. If we were to go back to Mount Olympus just for a moment, I said we'd get away from there. Those Olympians, those greats, those masters were not born on Olympus. They had to claw their way there. It only took them 15 or 20, 25, 30, 40 years or beyond to become overnight successes. They and you go through the same process of generate an idea, work like the Dickens to create something by bringing it into the world out of your head. Then once that's done, refine it, refine it, refine it, refine it. So get it happening. No comparisons are needed to start. Whatever you have in your head and your heart, get it out. Get it out there. Free it. Start and never, ever stop. Wait, don't go yet. As founder of The Stuck Creative, I can tell you that I've learned a lot about what gets people stuck and unstuck. Over at thestuckcreative.com, you're going to find a collection of tips, tools, and techniques. To keep you up to date on what's coming out, my new videos, new articles, new downloads, you need to subscribe to my blog. When you subscribe, I'll send you something useful, a useful report or a useful booklet or something that will help you get to your feet and creating. See you over at thestuckcreative.com.